Good evening, everyone.
I think the community brought back the grind. When it got shut down with COVID, the people that knew that I was involved, knew that Peggy was involved, Barb, the Pankowls, anybody that was involved, we were constantly getting asked, when is it coming back? When is it coming back? When's the grind coming back? Even the volunteers, we were asking each other, when are we going to get this going again?
After the COVID shutdown, I started thinking here, was it back in November, December, wonder whatever happened to it and if it was ever coming back. And Lindsay Lamont came over one morning and we were all talking and I asked her, whatever happened to that? And she told me, it's funny you say that because she was wondering the same thing and had been talking to Peggy Hovick and they were talking about maybe possibly bringing it back if they could get some people involved, and it was definitely something I wanted to see come back. So I was more than happy to jump in with her and whoever else was wanting to do it to help bring it back. Every time when we come out here and we set up, we do the setup. We usually show up here about 3:30 every Saturday, and we come out, we get the trailers ready. This grind trailer's been with us, I think, for the last 30 years, and it's normally plugged in with heater in it. It's been sitting for 3 years. What nobody knew up until we brought the grind back was that it had been unheated for almost a year. There was real concern as to where our equipment was going to be, what shape we were going to be in, but it really turned out well that everything was actually okay. Paul Hovick and I opened it up and everything seemed to be in okay shape and there didn't seem to be any water in there. We then took all the equipment one weekend over and we set it all up, spread it out, let it warm up, dried it out and tried going through it. And amazingly enough, after 3 years in the trailer, 99% of the equipment still worked and was still working in great shape, especially for being unheated for over a year. So,
my wife would come up to visit every summer at the end of school for years. And then she'd come home, John, you got to go. You're going to love it. I'm like, you're going in June. Let's go in December. So we came up here in December, and that's when I kind of learned about what was going on. And we came up here for Christmas, got back to Texas, and I turned in my notice at work, 6 months. And I came home from work and I said, well, I turned in my notice. Said, what? We're moving to Alaska. What are you talking about? 6 months, and so we sorted it out, and we got she got gigs in Metlakatla, and we wound up here literally 6 months later. I am a punk rock musician from a long time ago. Since then, I played country, western, and blues, and other kinds of music. But I've been playing since the late '70s, and pretty much retired from it. And I think it's kind of an Alaska thing to just spend your winter months inside and not. Maybe that's why people get so good. But yeah, initially I thought she wanted me to play guitar. She wanted me to do sounds. So sure, I can do that. So it was a compromise. I get to play guitar at every show. At the beginning of the show, Paula and I, or Terry, mandolin player Terry O'Hara, will whip up a number real quick and then go out and play it like immediately so we don't forget it. And that's been a lot of fun because after you've built everything up and you've done the sound check and you've got it all and you're waiting for the show to start, then you get to go and just play without really worrying about like if you hit a bum note. So, and it's a good way, kind of wakes everybody up and lets them know the show started. I want to say every one of them so far has been like an Irish reel, which is one of Paula's specialties, and Terry as well. They do a lot of Irish music.
Hey, welcome to the grind.
Not necessarily everybody here is going to go and try to book a gig someplace and have to play for an hour, but if they get invited to play, they put together their 15 minutes and they just knock it out, and it's always really cool. I've noticed there's a lot of great talent over here. Musical talent, theatrical talent, artistic. So it's a really cool venue for that, just for, and the brownies are nice too. There's like 100 brownies, 100 different kinds of brownies. It's crazy. So yeah, it's a pretty neat event. The room is fantastic. It's just a beautiful sounding room.
So there's just a lot of word of mouth and, bringing it all together because it's a small community and, you may not know who all the musicians are, but somebody else knows somebody that was a musician or you know, I've been up on stage, you know, the last couple grinds, and so people will just see me out at the beach even and be like, hey, I would love to do a poster, or I would love to sing, or I went to the conferences for my youngest son's conference, and one of the teachers said, hey, I'd really like to sing sometime. I've never sang in town, and it's just a really safe environment, supportive environment for people to come out who've never performed before. Bring in a dessert, a homemade dessert. You can get a refund, so you, in effect, get in for free. And at intermission, there is a potluck style party, or you can go get coffee and tea from the refreshment station, and then you can load up a plate with all the little bite-sized bite-sized desserts. So our dessert volunteers, who right now are John and Lorna, they prepare all the desserts, cut them up into little pieces so everybody can load up a plate and enjoy the food during the intermission. So I would say that the monthly grind is an amazing, family-friendly, very supportive community event to just spread love through art. So it's a venue for people to do performing arts up on stage. A lot of times it's music, but a lot of times it's dance. There's been theater, there's been poetry reading. So anything that anybody would want to do up on stage, it's an incredibly supportive environment for that. It's for adults, it's for kids, it's for people who've never been on stage before, it's from people who've been on stage all over the world. We also like to promote the visual arts in that we pick a different artist, visual artist every month to design a poster. The culinary arts are highlighted in the dessert contest. And yeah, it's just a really fun event that brings warmth and joy, I hope, into the hearts of our community.